Let's go. Hey, what's up friends? I got a brand new video for you today. I'm here with Beck. She's setting up a time lapse. I've never had a model set up a time lapse before, so that's kind of sick. Today we're shooting with the 18mm f1.4, and I'm stoked to use this lens because it's new and I've never used it before. And yes, I'm wearing my creepy photographer sunglasses. I like wearing them because it makes everything look warm and nice and bright and how I want the images to look. We also might shoot with the 35mm f2, and we're gonna shoot some Western stuff. So let's go. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is like a fairly wide angle lens. So I'll be doing probably a lot of kind of lower type shots. I kind of liked when you were looking off this direction, you kind of had the hat tilt, you had like a little bit of a tilt.
And then I unbutton this because I don't know, I'll just play with it.
All right, chin up just a little. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh. Oh my God, it looks so good.
The sky looks really nice too.
Yeah.
It's the type of clouds that children draw in paintings.
Literally.
Try the same thing now, and then we'll do one where you're looking down at me. You weren't actually even grabbing the hat yet, which was kind of cool. You're about to go into it, which is kind of sick. I love the moments between the shots you're trying to get, and sometimes those are the best ones, right? Go for it. 3, 2, 1. Nice. That's it. I think that's it. So obviously this lens is an 18mm. That kind of works out to be around a 27 to 28mm full frame equivalent. And it's kind of nice. It's less distortion than a 24mm. So for doing these types of portraits, it actually works out pretty well because there's not as much weird distortion. Sick. I'm gonna swap lenses real quick to something a little closer. It sounds so funny. Yeah. I wouldn't mind an actual you're walking and then I want you to look back at me and then turn, and I'm just gonna follow you. Yeah. Ooh, I like that last one. You framed it nice and there was no shadow on your face. You can let this hand just drop too. Just relax it. 3, 2, 1. And then chin up just a little. That's it.
So good.
Money shot. All right, so first impressions. Lens is holding up well. Beck's killing it. We just got 400 photos because we were doing high-speed bursts. What do you got in your hand there? A nice little Gorilla Pod?
Grip 180.
Grip 180, is that the new name? I just bought this new thing. It's called the Grip 180. All right, so here's look 2. We don't know if we like it yet or not. I think we're gonna go with 1 boot and 1 flip-flop. So a couple years ago, I reviewed the 16mm f1.4, and then later on, I also reviewed the 16mm f2.8. And this 18mm f1.4 is right up there with the same type of image quality, but I wouldn't say when it comes to the mechanical side of things that they're exactly the same. The 18mm is quite a bit different than the 16mm. It has a pretty nice focus ring that you can actually set to linear in the menu, and it's also got an aperture ring going from f1.4 all the way up to f16. I do wish that the aperture ring had a little bit more dampening, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. It does have a minimum focus distance of 20 centimeters, so 7.9 inches, and it's got a 62mm front filter thread. Okay, we've decided on something completely different. Still back to the 1 flip-flop, the 1 boot though. But now we've got overalls, and I think this looks sick. Plus we're gonna go red hat. Got the Windows XP hill in the background. So let's get some really dramatic stuff. If you're gonna swing, swing it out. Yeah, stuff like that. I love when you do one of these.
The broken ball.
So it's the Elvis pose. Ain't nothing but a hound dog. Think I'm up. Nice. That's it. I would show the camera, but the camera can't see anything.
Like it moves so much, like if I was in the club.
In the club. Okay, I'm gonna get really low this time because I want to avoid my shadow. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I love the attitude. You know what this looks like? This looks like an ad for like Levi's or something. What you think is over the top is generally like, needs to be like 20% more over the top than you think. Because a small stride on a photo looks like this.
Yeah.
But on a big stride, it's like, I've got power and like, I'm just like taking over the scene. You know what I mean? So I'm really loving the autofocus on this lens. It's super fast, it's super snappy, it's actually really quiet. And you know, I'll show some eye detection stuff later when it gets a little bit darker, but it's really hard to know what kind of autofocus you're gonna get from a lens from Fuji. They seem to be so inconsistent. Some lenses are quiet and fast, and some are slower and noisy and have like a grinding sound to them. But this lens is really quiet and nice and smooth, and that's because they're using a new linear motor in this lens, and that's really nice. I hope that moving forward they start using more linear motors in their lenses, because this kind of sounds and feels like what I'm used to from competitors. And I also think that if you're going to be using it for video, this lens is probably one of the best lenses for video because of how good the autofocus is, how quiet and how smooth it is. And I'll insert some clips here of me just doing close focus to like further away and show you how smooth it transitions, and there's no weird pulsing and stuff like that. So this would be great on a gimbal and any type of video you want to shoot with a little bit of a wider angle look. Turn your body just a bit more this direction. Let's get one, I know this might be tough, but one leg back a little bit more. Yeah, so there's more of a staggered stance. Yo, that's sick. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, I love the hug thing. Just one more. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna count you in to open your eyes. 3, 2, 1, open. All right, look number 3. Somehow these pants just fit you perfectly. Just random pants that I bought.
Yeah, I didn't even bring them. You think I brought them?
So I think we should try and find a road somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're gonna move on from this location. I'm pretty happy with how everything's looking. I will show some autofocus later on, but we're gonna try and find like a dirt road with a sunset somewhere, because I think that's gonna look really cool. And yeah, so far the autofocus is doing a pretty good job. There is a few times where I couldn't really trust the eye detection, but it's doing a pretty good job. All right, I think we found the spot. The lighting is getting a little bit better now. It's not as dark. I can probably show the back of the screen and do some eye detection stuff. I'm gonna go wide tracking. Cool. So again, walk towards the camera. You move around, you can walk back towards the camera again. Nice. Yeah, we got, and plus the longer we waited, the sun got better. The question is, where do I set up the vlog camera? They done eating dinner. Try a couple from a low angle here. Nice. I was so like off, but it's kind of cool off like that.
Yeah.
Like on a weird angle. Three, 2, 1, open. You're just owning the road now.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my final thoughts on this lens. It's lightweight, it's a nice size, it's gonna balance well on pretty much every Fuji body, and you know, it's well made, it's made out of metal. It's got that Fuji quality. And obviously shooting wide open at f1.4, it's nice and sharp, it's got a nice smooth bokeh. It's not too distracting. It's not like the perfect bokeh, but it is a wide angle lens coming at, you know, like at that 28mm equivalent. I also love the linear motor in this lens. It's got that nice, smooth, quiet autofocus. And I hope that going down the road, moving forward in all their other lenses, they start using more linear motors, because I think it might save my opinion on the Fuji autofocus system, because this is so much better. All that said, I still noticed it had some issues with the high-speed continuous autofocus when doing eye detection. I would say that probably 1 or 2 out of every 10 frames was out of focus for no reason. And I don't know if that's just the focus settings I have, but I noticed that. I almost forgot, there's a couple other things. So the aperture ring as well as the focus ring don't really have a lot of dampening. So it kind of feels like you're turning nothing. There's no feedback on the focus ring. And on the aperture ring, you could easily click it out of the aperture if you're not paying attention to it closely. But this lens is $1,000, so you know, it's $1,000 US. It's not that cheap, but it's also not that expensive. If you're thinking about getting one, I'll put links in the description. Okay, so we just got finished shooting on this random road. Thanks for hanging out with us, Beck, and you crushed it.
You did too. They look
I'll
awesome.
There's a mosquito on the glasses somewhere. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked this video, give it a thumbs down twice. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. There's mosquitoes everywhere. I can see them landing on my eyebrows. Tim McGraw. I can't remember the lyrics. This is actually a really cool photo. You trying to put the boots on?
Okay, I'll get these out of the way.
Yeah. The only way to get it on is to just yell at it.
They fit.
Dug my keys into the side of this pretty little souped up 4-wheel drive.
Carve my name into the sea. A deer! Look, look, look! Hi!
I'm zooming. Is he still there?